Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 4. So, leaving where we left off, we just finished gathering 2 of the 3 supplies. So, the last one, according to Luis, is in this area. So, we're going to try to get it and then meet up with him, and hopefully he can give us not exactly a cure. I figure this is probably something like what he gave Leon and Ashley, like a stopgap until we can get rid of the parasite that's in our body. So let's keep going.
Okay, Luis. That's 2.
Last one should be in a room accessible from the castle wall. You bring them all to the top of the wall, and I'll have your amber. Oh, and here's some more info I recovered about that old rock. Sending it now.
Couldn't just let me through, could you? That voice.
Unfortunately, Ada, you're in a Resident Evil game. Um, Unique puzzles, mazes, and troves of enemies blocking your path is par for the course of this series. Now, an enemy that I find annoying, it's on my list of many enemies that I find annoying, is these Red Lantern priests. I know that they're called something, it's a specific thing, but I do not remember what that is. And so for now, I'm just going to call them Red Lantern Priest. But I find them really annoying because they're so tanky. You basically have to have like some form of really strong weapon, like a rocket launcher or something, because anytime that he puts down his like staff, it causes the cultists that have, I guess, a further along parasite for their heads to explode, and then we get these lovely things that are following me around. And when I initially had played through this, I actually had died. I had died in the most aggravating way. I had killed the Red Lantern guy, and I was trying to make my way back to like the ledge. And also, I was trying to complete the metal challenges, which were a part of this as well. And one of the larger ones that kind of look like, you know, a giant worm and stuff like that, they showed up and bit my head off. And I died. And that was great, you know? Like, that dude I just passed. His parasite bit my head off. And so I had to do this whole sequence again, and I was really annoyed because it was 20 minutes out of my life. And I know some people are like, oh, well, I did this in less time. That's great. Good for you. But it took me like 20 minutes just to get through this. And then when I died, I was like, this is the worst possible outcome.
My head. Get back here. What? Finally. Glad that's over.
Now that he's finally dead, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the blue metal challenge that's over here, and we're going to go back to the merchant, resupply if we need to, and then head to go meet Luis, because I'm gonna save also, because I'm not doing all of that again. If the game for some reason is like, hey, I know that you died and we hadn't auto-saved yet, but, you know, you're gonna have to do it over again. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Like, definitely not doing it. So after we had fought Gigante, I saw somebody play through the game, that section. They had just gotten to Gigante fight, and they were grappling from building to building, and they ended up getting grabbed mid-air by Gigante, and he slammed them to the ground, which took off a lot of their health, of course. And so it kind of got me thinking about, like, if there are special sort of circumstances in which enemies can grab Ada when she's trying to grapple from one place to another. Because I think it'd be cool if the developers had added that circumstance or animation to the game.
So that's a request done and dusted, eh? Well done. You've proven yourself reliable. Good luck to you, stranger. There you are, as you wished. Came into now. Go and cause welcome. Stranger. Ooh, I'll pay a pretty penny for that. Got a selection of good things on sale, stranger. What's that? How have we procured these curiosities? You don't want to know, mate. A wise choice. I know, I say that a lot, but will that be all then? Why not try your hand at a new gun, stranger? Might save your life. Knowledge is power. Remember that, mate.
Just doing a little bit of comparison here. You're gonna see me do it a lot
What you
because
see is
I'm
what I've
like
got.
trying to figure out if I want to go ahead and just buy the Punisher. I know I probably don't need to
A
buy it
well-tuned
because the
weapon. Try
Blacktail,
that on for
while
size.
ammo is low and
Dazzled,
precision
are
is
you?
low, is
Oh,
still a fairly
craftsmanship
good
for once.
weapon in terms of like other stuff, especially when you max out
There you are,
everything.
as
So
you
yeah, I think
wished.
I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with my current weapon set, but I will
Hope you like.
later
I'll keep a
buy
lookout for items
the
then.
rifle because I know I'm going to need it for whatever reason, either to do crowd control from far away and get rid of enemies, or for like inevitable regenerator shows up or something, because that's gonna be
Suit
like
your
so stupid.
needs, eh?
last ingredient's not far now. That sound. That's right. I still have some unfinished business to take care of.
So, what's become of the amber?
Sorry, nothing yet. But my little helper is creating quite the commotion. Everything will work out just fine.
As long as you can keep your dog under control.
He's a good boy. Predictable.
Fine. Keep your mutt. But don't come crying to me if you get bit.
Leon, changed your mind yet?
Ada?
Assuming you haven't, I've got a tip for you. Seems like something big is about to go down in the throne room. Babysitting's tough, huh?
I don't remember exactly where I was when Ada made that call to me, but I was thinking to myself when I grappled over like the expanse that I was hoping there wouldn't be an armored gigante waiting there for me, and that I would have to make my way from section to section just like Leon did. Sometimes when I'm inlaying jewels into like a pre-existing thing like this butterfly lamp, I feel like, oh, look at me, an artiste, an artisan, a craftsman of delicate wares. And other times I'm just like, uh, that's probably gonna look really ugly, but it's gonna get me like 42,000 pesetas. So I'm gonna accept it as is. It's basically like the duality of man, but with jewelry.
This must be the collection room. Good to know. Interesting. Blue butterfly. Got everything you need.
Good. I got exactly what you want. Oh, that's not good. The parasite is reacting to the amber.
So that's the amber. That looks like something Wesker would want.
This will knock out the parasite. But only for a time. You ready? A tu salud. Just remember, it's not a cure. We still need to find a way to get that thing out of you.
It's coming.
I don't understand. It should be working by now.
Take the amber and go. Once the parasite is sedated, you can give me back that damn stone.
I can't leave you here. Not like this.
Spare me. I'll be fine. You got another promise to keep.
All right, but you come find me as soon as you're done here.
Medicine. It's working. Louis has the amber. I need to reach him.
I think it's interesting that the game is showing that despite the fact that uh, she took the same medication that Ashley and Leon did, hers didn't work as quickly. And it's probably just because of how heavily mutated the Verdugos are, how heavily mutated the guards are. They are, despite the fact that they were human, they're pretty much more bug than human now.
budge. Louise's footprints. Must have gone this way.
I keep forgetting that despite the fact that we're going through the same areas that Leon did, the reason why we're not seeing so many enemies is just because Leon has pretty much like cleared out these places of their enemies. So we're not gonna have like 30,000 people throwing themselves in front of our guns, like they were in the base game. So yeah, I keep forgetting that because I'm expecting that there's gonna be at least like, you know, a few more guards or a few more like armored cultists running around, and there's only like a couple. I think I've only killed maybe like 5 or 6 so far.
Down we go. What is this?
Honestly, Luis, I don't think anywhere is safe in the castle to travel through. We're just gonna have to accept that no matter which direction we go is gonna be dangerous. At least we weren't dropped down into like a spiked kind of cavern area that Leon is, and don't have to go through the laboratory. We're just going through like a I guess a waterway, you know, a waterway and underground kind of like crypt area. So it should be okay.
A nest. Hope it's not a sign of things to come.
Okay, so according to the map, there's a lot of treasure down here, but there's also a lot of areas to kind of explore. So we're going to explore and just kind of find the treasure as we go. And anything that we can't pick up right now, I'm going to assume that we would be able to pick up in a moment. I say a moment because I'm sure that this water can be drained, just like with any Resident Evil game. This water can probably be drained, and we would be able to climb up that ladder to get to that area because the map said that there was a treasure in that area. But for now, I'm just gonna continue on.
Locked. It won't open.
I wouldn't want to swim in it either, but until we drain the water, we're just going to try to find a way around. So it looks like with the map, it says that we have to go across. Not here, but there's like a pathway across. And seeing as the merchant is over there, I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can make my way that way, save, and pick up any requests that he may have.
I'm not swimming in that.
Once I save, I'm going to do some resupplies, sell whatever treasure that I can sell, and just kind of in general make sure that I have everything. Just because I figured that this area is probably the last time that we'll be in this section of the castle. And so we're more than likely going to have to make sure we get everything before we leave because there probably might not be an opportunity to later.
I have some new goods that might interest.
Feel free to pause this, but the too long didn't read version is that the person who wrote this passage really liked Count Gregorio because he calls him the architect. And a lot of the castle is built by Gregorio, and it still stands to this day. But this waterway was rediscovered by Ramon, and it's supposed to divert water to the castle and its inhabitants during drought. So everybody has water and everybody is able to like grow, like vegetables and things like that from it. But Ramon turned it into a dumping ground and like it kind of like a show of power against people that disagree with him.
Still have some new items.
And so he absolutely hated Ramon. And it's quite possible that the person who wrote this passage is also the same person that was killed in the library. Because in the library, when we're running away from the knights, there's a section of like the area that has like a note that says that I need to leave at like 3 p.m. or something like that. I'm going to leave. And it's all bloodied in that section with like food and stuff. And it's quite possible that it's the person who wrote this passage.
Welcome. Came into some other bits and bobs too, mate. Ruby's all rubbish. It makes no difference. I'll buy it at a high price. Molding a weapon to suit your easy work. Dazzled, are you? Our craftsmanship demands no less.
So I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. I'm really enjoying the game so far. If you want to check out the playlist for Resident Evil 4, I'm going to add a link to it at the end of the video and you can just click on it. It'll take you to the playlist. But if you want something a little bit more recent that I just finished last week, I just finished a game called The Tartarus Key, which is like a small kind of like independent game studio, and it's a escape room mystery game that's done in like PlayStation poly style, and it was pretty fun. The puzzles are really challenging. It's a fairly short game. I think it was like 6 or 7 hours, not like super long. But yeah, if you want to watch those, they're all on our channel. And yeah, just thank you so much for joining us here. So I'm gonna let the rest of this play through, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
There's some things money can't buy. We'll come back anytime.
I can't